So, if you're like me, you might have gotten the Kerdi system to do your shower, only to realize that the installation is not super straightforward. I mean, it is straightforward, but it's finicky. If you want it to be watertight, it has to be just exactly perfect. Um, I did a flood test on mine, and it passed. I didn't leak it all, but sort of lost the faith that I've installed it exactly perfect. I certainly don't. Um, I certainly don't want to be tearing it apart and doing the work again. So, um, got a bucket of Redguard here. My plan was to just do the shower base and maybe a foot up the wall with that. Um, and I've seen some people online saying, "Oh, no, don't do that. Whatever. You avoid your warranty." I sincerely doubt that Schluter is going to come out here in warranty. My amateur first-time installation. And the other thing I've seen is, people saying that the water will penetrate between the Redguard and the membrane and not be able to dry out of there. And I don't know, maybe that's true. But point is, I'm just going to do a little experiment here and see how it goes. This is not really representative of what actually happens in the shower, but I think it will show us if water does wick between the Redguard and the Kerdi here. So what I'm going to do here, I've got my 2 sheets of paper, and I got a piece of Kerdi membrane and a piece of Kerdi band, and I'm just going to, place those under there and put down a couple coats of Redguard on there. And stick it in a bucket for, I don't know, a day or two, see what happens. My suspicion is that it's going to be pretty much completely watertight, or rather completely watertight, which will pretty much validate, in my eyes at least, will validate that it's not really a concern that the water will penetrate between the Redguard and the Kerdi membrane at all. So that's what I'm looking to show here. Alright, so I got her out of the bucket here, and one thing I'm noticing that I didn't really think about before is that the Kerdi board has like a paper layer between this foam and the membrane that's on it. So, if you got an exposed edge of Kerdi board exposed to water, it's going to suck water up into that paper layer, behind the membrane that's on the foam. And I don't know, it just seems like that over time that would maybe be problematic. Anyway, the Redguard is really sticking good on here, so I'm thinking that this is going to work pretty well. So I just pulled out the first piece of paper, and it's completely dry, so that's good. We'll do the other side, and we'll see how that works. Yeah, no, it's very completely dry in here. No water got through. I mean, it would have to wick, only half an inch, right, from there to there. If it was capable of doing that, I think it would have. But interestingly enough, this side is completely soaked. So I don't know if, yeah, I don't know why that would have happened there. But not on the other side. Maybe I just didn't get enough good joint here with the Redguard, maybe. Yeah, I mean, it's all saturated. Can't really. It looks like maybe it came in from this side because it's still dry up here. So maybe I just didn't get a good maybe I just didn't get a good bond there. Maybe there's like a pinhole leak in the joint. Because I think if it was wicking, it would have wicked in both, right? But it looks like maybe it came in from this side because it's kind of still dry up here. Interesting. I have to do another couple samples and see what happens. Yeah, and then so I peel back a little bit of the Redguard here, and I can feel that this is dry there. But on this side, if I peel back the Redguard, it's wet under there. So we may have actually had a little bit of wicking occur on this side of the sample here. So I wonder why that is. It's strange that it happened over here, but not over here. So the one thing I was wondering about is if by going to the edge of the board here, I was maybe not testing what I wanted to test, because maybe when it goes over the edge, it seals in the fleece a little bit better. Because I mean, this side is almost all the way around, whereas on this side there's a couple spots where it didn't quite get to the edge. So the next samples I'm doing, I'm making sure not to take the Redguard all the way to the edge of my piece of board there. So, and I'll do a kind of a close inspection of it for pinhole leaks, because I think there might have been a pinhole leak here too, before I dunk them. So be interesting to see. The second round of samples had worse results. I went 0 for 3 on staying dry. Alright, so I did one more here where I took the Redguard all the way over the edge of the board there, and she's bone dry in there. So I would say that it seems extremely likely then that while Redguard adheres well to the membrane and to the board here, to the fleece surface, the joint there, if it's a joint that's on the membrane or on the surface of it, is not watertight, and that indeed the folks who said that water will wick between the Kerdi and the Redguard were correct. So I think I'm still going to put a layer of Redguard in my shower, but what I need to bear in mind is that the joint, right, where the point at which they overlap is not watertight. So I'll just put that up the wall high enough that I don't think it'll have water on there, and essentially then the Redguard becomes the waterproofing system. I spent all this money on the Schluter stuff, but I really am not super confident in my install job, so put a layer of this over the top of there, and hopefully that'll be better.